So, we hardly have any time left, which is very scary. But I want to just make sure who's here. Ruby, there's Ruby. Mayron is here. Michelle, Maya, is Maya here yet? There she is. Josiah is not here. Oh, you are. Okay. Before you leave, we'll look at who I put first in the class. But can you play at 2:30? I don't know. Is that what your question was? You sent me an email about a 2:30 time.
Oh, that was for the studio this weekend.
Yeah, on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before you leave, let's set it up.
Okay.
Okay. And Sumin is here. Patricio, John, Daniela is here. Rachel just walked in. Tekla, there she is. Did you survive the week? It was fun, wasn't it?
It was so much fun, but I didn't get any work done, so.
Well, but you got work done that you learned a lot.
Yeah.
And you got a job.
Yeah.
Let's hand it. You got a job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Nick. Is Nick here? Here's Nick. Were you able to connect last week with Kelton?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. And Wansen is not here. Maki's here. And Boe is here. And Hua is here. Okay, great. So what we want to just take a look at, the people I want to just make sure that I've watched your teaching videos. And Ruby, I didn't watch yours yet, did I?
I sent it to you.
No, but I need to watch it with you. Okay, we haven't done that. So I'm going to make this special list and we're going to make a special time to do that. So Ruby, Mayron, I didn't see your teaching video. Okay. Michelle, did I see your teaching video? No. Okay. And Maya.
I'm sending right now.
Okay, well, don't send it now because we're going to make a time where I see it. Okay, Josiah, I saw yours. Sumin. No, this is bad. I saw Patricio, I saw yours, right? And John, maybe I'm just going to have you watch Sadie's lesson. I'll just watch you teach Sadie when I'm here in the course of her lesson, okay? So we'll just do that. Daniela.
Hi.
Okay. And Rachel.
You haven't seen my yet.
Yeah. Okay, I did see Tekla. Nick. I'm just going to watch you teach. Where's Nick?
Right here.
Okay, I'm going to just watch you teach Kelton in the lesson, okay?
Okay. When is his lesson this week?
His lesson is Friday at 12.
Okay.
Can you come?
Yes.
Okay.
Thankfully it's not tomorrow. Tomorrow's my hearing.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
And Boe.
I think I sent it to you.
Okay, I know, but we didn't watch it together.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of you. Can we find an hour at some point where we can all meet together to watch videos? Okay. So I think it will have to be okay, can we possibly do this on Sunday, the 14th of April at 1 o'clock?
I can't.
You can. Can everybody?
The whole class?
Yeah, well, I would like it open for the whole class, but I need to really, kids that I just said your names.
Said 14?
Yeah. Is that possible? And if you can't, Rachel, I know you can't. We'll make another time.
Okay, yeah,
Maybe we could do it after this class.
sure.
Maybe I'm not here next week, but the week after. Okay, so does that make sense, everybody? So that's Suman. Can you do that?
1:30.
What did I say? Yeah, I have a 3 o'clock concert on that day, so it would have to be, I think 1:30 to 3 would be fine. Does that work? Okay. Okay, that's a Sunday. Okay, so that's Suman, Daniela. Does that work for you?
I think so.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Bowie,
Sorry, what's the date again?
April 14th. Ruby. Okay. Mayron,
Yes.
Michelle.
I can't.
You can't?
No, I have a family thing that.
Okay, so I'm going to put you and Rachel together after the next class, okay? So you have
The 10?
the
Is that-
10th.
Okay.
Yes. So that is on the 10th, yes.
Do we have class on the 3rd?
No, I'm out of town, yeah. Okay, so that's Rachel and Michelle, okay? And that is on April 10. Okay, is that clear to everybody? Okay, and I'll send you an email just to confirm all of this. Okay. So, what I want to do is just make sure you're all set for the next few weeks. So let's go take a look at the syllabus. What we need from you by the end of this semester are your notes from the Galamian book, Principles of Teaching and Playing on the Shifting and Vibrato chapters. What ideally I would love for you to do is make up a sample program. Let's say you're directing a string academy or some kind of string program, and you have to be very creative and make up what you want to have on that program. And you can define the parameters. You can say they're beginners through Vivaldi Concerto or beginners through Paganini Caprices. And I'll let you be creative as to what music. Actually, what I should do is give Mayron the key to my studio, and you guys can come in next week and just explore the 2 shelves of music here. Would that be fun?
Okay.
Yeah? Yes.
Would that be a mixture of group and solo?
Up to you. Up to you. The sky is the limit on what you want to do.
How will it be graded, kind of?
Graded, you think? Wait.
Wait.
When have I
Is there-
ever talked about a grade?
Never.
Guy, never. Because my philosophy in teaching is you guys should be so happy to get this information so that you're going to use it for the rest of your life in some way, shape, or form, long after I'm gone. Okay, does that answer your question? Okay.
You just saw you're getting an F.
Yeah, that's, thank you.
I'm joking.
Okay, then you, for your final paper, you're going to choose one piece from Suzuki Book 3, one piece from Suzuki Book 4, and I want you to explain how you would teach it. You can use the whole stringpedagogy.com template on what's new, what's different, how to isolate the difficulties, the form, etc. And then your final jury will be that you'll play one or the other. I'll choose which piece that you chose, either from book 3 or 4, and you'll play it, and you'll talk about how you teach it, what etudes you're doing at the time, what scales, etc., etc. Okay? Okay, then an overview of what you're doing in group lessons. I don't think I've seen anybody at any of the VV classes, so not many more weeks left. This Saturday we're meeting from 9 to 12, and then at 12 is the quartet coming that Michael Klinberg is bringing that is playing video game music. So how many of you are into video games? Great. Well, that's nothing to be ashamed of. So there's a quartet that's coming that's what they do. They play video game music, and Michael has been working with this for a couple of years. So at 12 o'clock, they're going to come and talk to the kids and play a concert and talk about what they do. So, that's all up for you to, it'll be open. Probably we'll do that in MA004, so just so you know where we'll be. And then just to describe briefly the work you've done with your students this semester. And then we need your teaching log. So I think we specified 12 hours of private lesson observation, 12 hours of group class observation, and at least 10 lessons with your own kids. That should be fine. Yep.
If our student's lesson is only 30 minutes,
Well, just 10 lessons is fine. Yeah. I mean, unless you're curious to watch any other lessons.
No, I meant. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's so many of my lessons online now. There are like 500 videos of lessons online for you to watch, whenever you have a question about any particular issue.
And when you say overview of what to do in group class, is that just like our notes?
Yeah, just your notes. Like one of these days you're going to be in front of 10 kids who are, let's say, book 2 level. And you're going to walk into that room and you're going to think, what am I going to do with these kids? And at least you'll be able to go back to your paper and see that there's some options. Okay? And then hopefully most of you were there for the Intermezzo concert. Sadly, I did not videotape that concert. I was just too busy trying to get everybody up and down on the stage. But I do have videos of Robin's class and Vadim Glutzman's class. So if you need those links, let me know. I put them on unlisted links. So just email me and I'll send them out to you. Okay, juries are going to be the last Wednesday of class, which, if we look at the calendar, is Wednesday, April 24. I think I said to Brenda between maybe 1 and 3, I'll put a sign up on the door. And then also Friday, we'll do sign-ups from 12 to 2 on that Friday. And then your papers are ideally due that Friday, because the next week we have to move out of this studio.
And should we just email the papers to you or hand them?
You could email them. I mean, I prefer paper, but that's obsolete, I know. Okay. Okay, so does that make sense? Any questions? It should be pretty clear. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we didn't quite finish book 2, did we? We did Gavotte from Mignon. We did Lully Gavotte. I think, did we do the Lully Gavotte? Yes, we did. Does that sound familiar? And did we do the Beethoven Minuet?
No.
I don't think so. Okay, so we have one more piece in book 2 to do. So I would like to do that now, and then we're going to spend the rest of today and the next time we meet talking about establishing a healthy foundation, better known as rehabilitation. Like, what do you do with a student that's just coming to you and is not well set up, which we're all going to find that in the course of our teaching careers? What do? You just they come in playing Mendelssohn. Do you keep playing Mendelssohn, or do you say back to open strings or whatever? So we'll talk about that. So who would like to volunteer to play? We're going to do the Minuet in G. This class is so great. John, that everybody likes to volunteer so quickly. Okay, so let's just, while he's taking out his violin, let's just review the the things that we want to be aware of when we're starting a new piece. Who can go through this list for us? We want an awareness of
What the bow's doing?
what the bow's doing and define what can the bow do. I mean, basic possibilities of what we need to be aware of with the bow.
The stroke
The bow strokes, good.
and the amount of bow you're using.
Yeah, amount of bow. Yes. Yeah, that's good. What else? Even maybe more important.
In the bow?
Yeah. I think it's time for vacation, guys. Okay, what else? Yeah, of course the bow stroke. What else is really important?
To be comfortable.
Yeah, yes.
Maybe just
Bow
like
division.
sound.
Yes, so we're aware of both, speed, distance, and the contact point. What else, guys? Really important.
Bow division.
Yes! Thank you.
I thought you said bow use.
Oh,
It
bow.
wasn't specific. I don't know what I said. But
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, using the bow, yeah, but that could mean,
It can mean a lot.
yeah. Okay, so bow division. Good. What else besides the bow can we be aware of?
Maybe our key area.
Hmm?
Like our key area, or
We're not there yet.
or just our codes and
Okay, so
What our
codes,
fingers are
what
doing.
hand does codes?
left.
Okay. Okay, so, yes. But what does the left hand do? Yes, we play codes, right?
Yeah.
So we want to keep the awareness of codes. What else does the left hand do?
Finger placement.
Finger placement, right? Especially as we remember through book 1, we want to know if we're blocking fingers or only fingers. What else does the left hand do?
Shift.
It shifts. and what else?
Play the notes.
Okay, I'm going to start grading this class. Okay, I think you said it. Vibrato, right. So awareness of vibrato. So, those are the logical things. Okay, so we know what the bow is doing, what the stroke is, the division, the speeds, pressures, etc. We understand the left hand, what the codes are so we can play in tune. What else are we staying aware of? Just think of what's under that rainbow. Form. So, yes, even before we get to the form, we want to be aware of what?
Loose. Be loose.
Yeah, that's a given. That is that's above the rainbow. practice? What do you just go in and practice a whole piece, or do you?
Isolate difficult passages.
Yes, you isolate the difficulties. As I keep reminding my students, life is short, and we know difficulties occur where? Between two notes. So okay, thank you. So we want to be so efficient in our practicing. So we as teachers, initially we recognize the difficulties between specific two notes, and then as you develop, as you learn, as you leave school and go into the profession, you have to become your own teachers, and then you'll find where the difficulties are, and by then you'll have the toolbox to know how to solve all the difficulties. Okay, and the fourth thing is the form, right. Now, just again, a simple question. Why do you think we start teaching the form from Twinkle, and what are the benefits of understanding the form?
Memorization.
Memory, a lot for memory, because we have a visual understanding of where we are always in the piece. Also, form is related, as you said it initially, to key structure. It makes it clear if we start in G and the development is in D major or F major, whatever, we can understand the relationships of the keys, because then our music making is dependent. Oh, I'm going to ask you another question. Being musical and being a artistic musician is very dependent on what? Two elements.
Understanding harmony.
Harmonic understanding, and what would the other thing be? It's very obvious.
One's harmonic, I guess the other one's melodic.
No. No, I mean, we're going to put the melody above the harmony.
Yeah.
You know, pianists understand this better than anybody else. What else? What is crucial to the understanding of what we do?
Pulse.
The pulse. The pulse.
I mean, it is.
What?
You were saying the heart.
True. Okay, we can go off on the third most important thing. But listen, the heart can only understand the music if it understands the pulse and the harmony, right? Basically. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, why don't you just play through this piece, and maybe you've never played it before, it doesn't matter. But we're going to let's just figure out, first of all, what's new and different, and then how we're going to isolate the difficulties.
Should I just take all the repeats or just
No,
repeats?
let's not take
Okay.
repeats. see anything that's new and different?
In the trio section, I see like this, like a flying staccato stroke.
Well, I wouldn't. Dirbo really can't fly yet. We're lucky to get it, keep it on the string. So, I mean, from if you've gone to any books 1 and 2 group classes, you can see they're pretty stuck on the string, which is what we want, right? So that it would be more of our up and up bow staccato, right? So that shouldn't be too hard for us because what have they been doing since the end of book 1?
Stop bows.
With what?
Scales.
Yeah, so they've been doing, with scales. So they already have this understanding. Good. And we had another piece in book 1 that had 2 up-ups. Does anybody remember what that was?
Oh, minuet 3.
No. Well, up, but even more. In book 2. So we had up with 2 notes, and now we get up with 4 notes. Okay. So how could we isolate that? First of all, why don't you just start here and show us how you would want the kid to play this. That's good. So we're going to do 4 stops. So now, when we do this bow stroke, as if we get to Kreutzer 4 in our discussion, but we're going to stop the bow at the end of the down bow, which becomes the beginning of the up bow. So we have that beautiful ring. Want to try that? Good. Now, I'm going to make a very subtle difference between this bow stroke and this one. Can you hear the difference? Okay, this is the first one. This is the second. What's the difference?
I think first,
Anybody?
on the first one, like you're like hearing every bite of each note, and the second one, I think you're using a little more bow.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the difference in the sound?
It's more brushy.
Well,
I think the first one was like the break more at the end of the stroke than the beginning, and the second one it was like the catch sound was more at the beginning.
Well, the catch sound was more at the beginning because I stopped the bow at the end of the note.
Yeah.
So I'm stopped and I'm ready then to play instead of trying to start each one. So I get more resonance. That's the thing. So, okay? Now, we'll take the same passage, and as we know, we want to find other ways to practice. What would be another way that we could practice this passage?
Open string practice.
Yep. Okay, so let's hear open string. Okay, that's probably for a kid, probably too complicated. But we could do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Good. Now I want you just to be aware that we stop here, which is the beginning of the first up bow. Good. Gotcha. Okay, that's one way. Another way.
Rhythm?
Probably not. I don't think they're going to be too ready for rhythms yet. Yeah, we've been doing scales that way.
Finger before bow.
Hmm?
Finger before bow.
That's good.
Yeah, you could practice just the fingers without the bowings, since the bowing is complicated, and and the fingers are complicated.
Maybe that's more complicated than complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, or separate those. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
separate those.
Guys, have you ever stood on your head? Have anybody ever done a headstand?
I tried once.
Yeah.
He was never the same.
Okay, I just gave you a clue. What's the clue?
Backwards?
Yes,
Oh.
thank you. So to play starting down bow. So when we practice fourth crochet, we practice starting. We start practicing up bow so we get a down bow staccato. And why is that helpful?
Helps you know where the string crossings are.
Yeah. Mhm. What else?
Coordination.
Okay.
The weight is more.
Yes, thank you. The weight of the bow and the frock is heavier, so you don't have to work so hard. So if one can do a very good down bow staccato, the up bow is going to be a given. So, we started here, and again, it's not problematic for these kids because we've been doing it since. Who remembers when we started G major with stop bows?
A2?
Yeah, good. Okay, so one difficulty. What else is new and different? Who wants to help John?
You have position.
Half
Half
position.
position,
Yes. Okay. So what think back over these 2 semesters. What is the best way to introduce something new with a what? Broken record. So can you make up a broken record? Okay, so maybe,
Yeah.
but this is good because this is right. That would be one, maybe a little bit better. Just when we do this going into half position. What do you think? Should we move the whole arm or just the finger?
The finger.
Just only the finger. Right, that's right. So and we know that fingers, this is really interesting. Fingers move horizontally. Now what other ways do fingers move? Vertically. Yes. This way, right? Good. Okay, so what we want to be, we can make exercises too. We can, on one, we can do 2, 2. And when we do this, we see that the angle of the finger is changing here, right? We don't play. That would be make it a lot more difficult to play in tune. So then third finger we can, and 4. So we can add exercises like that. Okay. Anything else new and different in this? What what about the form?
Yes, it's the first da capo al fine.
Right. You know, in Louis Gavat, we had the da capo also, but he wrote it out. But in this case, we have AABB, trio, 2 parts, and then da capo without the repeats. Good. Okay, so now let's talk about bow division, how you want to do this. So why don't you start at the beginning and talk us through this.
Okay.
So where do you want to start?
So I'll just start from like the upper middle,
Okay.
like almost right here, and then like get to the frog.
Okay, let's see.
Same.
Let's hear.
So for the slurs, I'll just use the whole bow.
Yes.
And
And that's good. You know, I know he puts the accent. You know, maybe we don't want to put too many accents here. Good. Now, what we really want to be aware of is the long, short, long. Were any of you there at the concert last night? Yes? Those of you that didn't go should be. No, it was just incredible. And you know, just rhythmically what Josh could do leading that orchestra was just mind-boggling. I mean, his Brahms was amazing too, of course, but you always heard rhythmically, you know, none of the rhythms were compromised. And did you notice how great his Bianchi stroke was? Because I made him do it for years. No, it was just so rhythmic. So we want to be able to do, you know, up, down. Okay, so this is good.
Yeah.
Now, what should we do here? You know, here's the bow. Do we really want to do this?
I think just still like set the bow.
Yeah,
Set.
you know, I think we forget as violinists that our bow needs to imitate the human voice. And we also would be helpful to think about imitating a wind instrument. You know, so if the wind instrument would go, wah, you know, they have to re-articulate, right? So instead of thinking that we're taking the bow off, what if we finish and then we feel that we're pushing against which side of the string? That's it. That's the what side?
The D side.
Really? Wait, if we push against the string here on the up bow, I don't want to push on the D side of the string, do I?
Oh, then it's the E side.
Yeah, because
E side.
remember the string is 3-dimensional. It's very boring to play on top of the string. So on the up bow, I'm playing on the right side of the string. So then, see how easy it is then? So I don't think of, you know, going here for the up bow unless I'm going to need an articulation. Does that make sense? So then it's easy, you know, to have a beautiful up bow. No, but you didn't do it. Just, how about just from the D and that's right. Rest. huge false accent on the third beat. Okay, does that bow division seem logical? Okay, next. Good, and good. Now that was good. Now kids usually are going to do this. Why?
They gotta get the frog.
Yeah, because they have to get closer to the frog, but why?
Because of the dash, because there's like a dash.
No,
Okay.
don't look at any of the articulations. They're usually not correct in this music.
They
Just
don't
because
say
of,
bone down.
Well, no, you can. What do they have to be aware of on that up bow?
Slow bow?
Hmm?
Slow bow?
the way
Actually, it'd be the opposite on the up bow.
Oh.
Because but it has to be faster and lighter. So they have to change the pressure. You know, how many times have especially here. So hopefully right from the beginning of this more complex music, we're building in the information and the feeling of sense of phrase to be musical. So you didn't do it. I'm just saying you will hear it in your life. And so very light, right? So just from the air. Two. Right. Probably I would do the same
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
right? Two, down, two. Good. Now, I probably make the kids use the whole bow just for practice. Good. And then, as a teacher, you have a choice. I would probably play with the 4. Good, but I would play the C sharp with the 4.
Oh, for it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you can do either way, but here, then you can make another broken record because you have to know that the third finger is here or a high 3, right? But here, with the 4, we have the tritone, so it might end up better in tune. And how personally, I would rather hear in tune playing with a fingering that is going to work for whatever student than out of tune playing enforcing a fingering that just doesn't work for them. So just a reminder, if a student comes back week after week after week and it's out of tune, the solution would be to change the fingering. Yes. Okay, so I think that gives you an idea for this piece. Any questions? No. So this is how you're going to approach your pieces in book 3 and book 4. What's Bo doing? Left hand, isolation of the difficulties, and the form. Okay? Okay, great. Let's give him a big hand. Thank you. Now, there is one more piece. Oh, let's see. There is one more piece in book 2. Oops. But I don't teach it. So I go right into book 3 at this point. And to the Martini Gavotte. So
Do
yeah.
you just never do that piece, or do you do it later?
Sometimes I do it, but I think it got on my nerves. So it's not a very logical thing, but so I mean, yes, you can teach it, and you would use all the same principles. Okay.
What about waltz? Because we did it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Waltz I do teach. You know. Just using the same principles. The difficulty in waltz is the memory, because it's the same thing, but there's one turnaround note that will take you to the right place or back again, like a catch-22. Okay? Okay, so guys, that's book 2. Now we're moving on to our final chapter. By the way, those of you that were not here for Kelly's lecture a week ago on repertoire, I think I sent everybody the link. Did everybody receive that? So make sure you watch it, because we went through a lot of supplemental repertoire, and that's just from one series, the RCM series. But I don't think we're going to have time unless next week I give you a key, Mayron, and then you can just go through a ton of this music here. Okay, that would be fun to do. So make sure you watch that lecture. Yeah, I know some of you had orchestra, etc. So, okay, so now we are into volume 2. And volume 2 is set up into, getting ready to move, which is just a big review on our setup. Let me back up just a second. I mentioned before that this volume is meant to help you work with students that are coming from other places and have not come with the best of habits. So, you know, you as a teacher, we always want to know, what do we do? Do we keep them with their bad habits, or do we start with a clean slate? So I've just decided over the years that it is just better just to make sure all the basic elements of what we do are in healthy working order. Because if you want to play Tchaikovsky Concerto or Sibelius or whatever, it's hard enough to play those pieces if you're well set up. So why not give students the benefit of the doubt and just make sure that everything is working from the ground up? So of course my 2 students know this because they're living the process. But what do we first want to be aware of when we're talking about the Healthy Foundation? And what would be the first thing that you would want a student to know?
Posture,
Even before that.
releasing tension.
Yeah, good. That's good. How about let's just say the non-judgmental environment. And that for some kids it's a life changer, because they've grown up who knows where in the world, and every time they made a mistake their teacher would berate them, and every time they had a horrible performance they would be miserable, and it would actually slow their progress, and it would create so much tension in their bodies that they would be paralyzed. And we see that often, and many times in those extreme cases, those kids just give up and do something else with their life. But if we can create this non-judgmental environment from the very beginning, where mistakes are welcome, we know that with enough repetitions we'll be able to fix anything. And to know that everything that the student does is neither good nor bad, it's just information. And going back to the old saying that all mistakes occur between two notes, if we can figure that out, we're clear sailing. So that's the first thing I would do. Then the next thing we want to be aware of is our physical setup. So all of us know that physically, if we're loose, we can play better. And we want to be able to stay loose in the practice room, which is probably the easiest place to be loose because you're only listening to yourself. The next place we want to stay loose, of course, is the teaching studio when you're taking a lesson. The next place we want to transfer that non-judgmental environment is into the studio class, master class, and then finally on the stage. So you hear with our kids that they, I don't know how they do it, but they play entire concertos flawlessly. Miranda a week ago played the first movement of Brahms concerto with the Indianapolis Symphony, and she can play it without missing a note. And it's not that she was born that way, but the training for the last 5 or 6 years has allowed her to be able to get to this point. I don't know, did you hear the concert on Saturday morning with the kids? Oh, my kids played.
Oh, at Asta.
Yeah, at Asta.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played. I know it's like
No,
this
the
is like
Volvo listening
ages
to the
ago. And
Richie.
were you there, Shishi?
Yes.
They played a concert for the keynote address of the day, and I think they sounded really wonderful. Yeah, I have a film of it. I can send that on. But I think that, well, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think people were impressed with their playing because they're so musical and their physical motions are so free. And on top of all of that, they have fun. They're having fun. Is that your impression?
Yeah, I thought they sounded really resonant too, because those spaces are, it's like a cave.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they played for probably 1,500 people. And in these big conference centers that have carpet on the floor, and yeah, I tried to move the shell around them, but anyway. Yeah, so it's just, I'm just reassuring you that if you go through these steps, your end product is guaranteed. So then we've talked about the physical body, we've talked about all of our joints need to be free and open, and then we start this whole process, and I'm going to show you how I organize this. We get to stage 1, and I based this whole topic on Kreutzer etudes, but we can also use Wolfart etudes or preparing for Kreutzer etudes, any etudes that are 4 notes, 8th notes, or 4 beats per measure, 8th notes. So the first thing we do is, of course, we want to make sure that the violin is comfortable, and we've talked a lot about that we balance the instrument on our collarbone. We can balance the instrument with our left arm. We shape our hand over the high dot, and we can slide down. We want to keep our shifting, our physical shifts fluid, etc., etc. Then we take a look at our bow, and the first thing we do is we make sure that our martelet stroke is resonant, because for me the martelet defines the health of the bow. And why would that be?
Because it's the most resonant.
Yeah, because it guarantees that we have the articulation, and that when we pull and push the string with the least amount of effort, we have a ring to the sound. And as we do this, if you're trying to fix a bow position, we want to be aware that everybody has a different bow position. But if we're listening for this sound, most likely the position will fall into place. So we start with 4, and then we do 2 per bow, and we can go to all of our strings, etc. And once we have a good feeling for this martelet, we add it to, let's see if I bring up, well, everybody knows Kreutzer Etudes, right? So we add it to our Kreutzer Etudes. So when we add our fingers, our left hand, we want to be aware that our left hand is well set up. And what do we want to know about the left hand? What are some things that we keep in mind?
Reaching back instead of going
Yes, we want to be able to extend back instead of stretching up. So to find our code, we can start over the high dot. So that's our code for Kreutzer Etude and for Wolfhart, the first Wolfhart Etude. That's code 1. Code 2 is and why do you think Kreutzer, and doesn't matter, I'm going to throw this rug away anyway when I move. Why do you think Kreutzer and Wolfhart, probably copy Kreutzer, wrote their first etudes in C major? I mean, A major is a fun key, right? Patricio.
I think it's easy enough to keep the intonation, but it still challenges the left hand a little bit with, low 1 using the 3.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Maybe so you could check intonation against open strings.
Yeah, that's good.
Because maybe low 2 and then we use horse movement.
Yes, okay, so this is what you're going to find. Watch. I mean, you'll see that a million times in your teaching because the student wants to stretch up to 4 instead of our good old extending back. So, see, then I have this position here. And it's interesting because, this was obviously thought of many, many years ago. My friend Diana Ihas, with whom I spent a bunch of time this last week in Louisville, she wrote this wonderful book that I told you all about called Teaching Violin, Viola, Cello, and Double Bass. She is like a violin nerd and knows violin pedagogy nerd and knows everything about violin teachers and the history of violin. And this is actually a library copy. I had the library buy it, and I have my copy went off with Kelly, so I hope it comes back. But she talks about Gemignani, who was the first guy to write about the violin school. And I want to just show this to you. This is very cool. Let's see. So Gemignani in his book he writes about how, do you need a Kleenex or something there?
No.
No, okay.
I got my own.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna clean my floor there.
I already did.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyway, Gemignani writes about the perfect violin position, which is cool because it's basically the same thing. Probably a little easier in his day to do this because the neck was shorter and the strings were not metal, they were not as taut. But I think basic violin facts over the last 300 years are the same. So, yeah, so we have our perfect position and we play our 4 martinets per bow, finger before the bow, and what's the corollary? Finger before bow and
Release.
relax the finger after it plays. Good. Because if we don't relax the finger, we won't find our most natural hand position here. So then we do the same thing with 2 per bow, finger, listening to the resonance. So we've established our martelé stroke, we've established a resonance, we have our left hand position set, we have now to do our détaché stroke. So we're first going to practice upper half of the bow, understanding our forces, the up force of the instrument against the relaxed weight of the arm, and we do and lower half. So whatever we do in one part of the bow, we want to be able to do in the other part of the bow either. Okay, I know guys, we don't have any more time. So what I want you to do this week and is when I see you again, I want you just to go to the website and work yourself through these videos and shifting and dexterity. I want you to get familiar with what is in volume 2. Yes?
This was the stage 1 videos?
Hmm?
Or just the stage 1 videos?
Well,
or?
just explore a little bit. And next week we'll work together. On Sunday I'll get a key for you to my room, or I'll have you get Michael's key, and then I'll show you what music we can pull from here. Okay? Yeah, we want to go over that thing. Okay, thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Joanna said she could meet.
Okay, hold on.
You're fine.